everybody, welcome to Q Aquatics and Exotics. My name's Susie, and tonight we are going live. How is everybody? Let's see, we got Anthony's Fishy Friends. What is going on, sir? Terry is in the house and he's in the green room. How do you like that? Hi, Candy. Oh, Candy's already got your link and everything. What? Hey, Sean. So here's how we're going to start this off, unlike any other time, that.
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Na hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.
Oh, that was great, because guess what? Sophie was singing along. Well, squawking along to that. Oh, hashtag skippers. Are you guys talking about mud skippers? Hashtag skippers. No, Sophie. No. Well, before we go further, I want to introduce my guest who needs no introductions. Terry's Tropical Tangs. Don't make me laugh, dude. There we go. Guys.
No introduction. There ain't nobody on this thing that knows
And
who
the
I am.
crowd goes wild. So if you guys don't know Terry, you got to check out his channel, Terry's Tropical Tanks, but you've probably seen him in some live streams, and he's been holding some live streams off and on the last few days as well. So Terry, welcome to Q Aquatics and Exotics.
Hey, thanks for having me, but man, don't get excited, guys. I'm just an idiot with the camera.
Oh, we got so many questions for you, let me tell you. And I know I got so many questions for you because when somebody in the chat reaches out not only and gives some advice or some of their experience and I try it and it works, that's a bada bing. But you went above and beyond. When I was having trouble with my electrical, you sent me a short video on how to fix it. Now that was awesome. And I so appreciate that.
It was just something I think anybody else in this community would do. I mean, I didn't learn everything about building a fish room just on my own. You know, people help me out, so you pass it forward.
Nice. Oh, everybody is coming from Skipper's Aquariums. Awesome, Skippers. Thank you. Well, look, we got so many people in the house. So, guys, if you want to ask a question, just put the @ sign before one of our names so we can see the questions. So we're going to get a little bit started. Terry, I don't believe that you're new to fish, nor fish keeping. No. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your fish history?
God, do I really got to go that far back? To be on the History Channel. I don't know. I had my first, I think I got my first fish around 1974. And back at that time, a real common way to be introduced into the hobby was the Lake County Fair, or your local county fair. You know, you throw a ping pong ball into a jar and you win a fish. So I came home with a fish and I don't know. I didn't have any idea how to take care of the thing, and it just evolved from there. And it just went on and went on. And I went through, I think anybody can relate that's been in this hobby for a long time. You go through phases. You'll go through a live bearer phase, then you'll go through a cichlid phase or a monster fish phase or a you know, there's just so many rabbit holes that go down in this hobby that you'll spend a lot of time down each one. So I've been down a few rabbit holes. So
Yeah, I think I started off with a community tank, but I was a big fan of KG Tropical, so of course I had to do the African cichlids, and that you can't keep them together, so I had to set up a second tank, and then I had to set up a hospital tank, and so on and so on and so on.
this YouTube thing is amazing now. New hobbyists are not going to appreciate the fact that they can go on YouTube and Google anything about this hobby and get usually a halfway decent response. You know, when I was doing it, there wasn't even internet. You know, so you kind of had to learn on your own as you went, and you're like, crap, how'd I just kill all my fish? Then you go into the pet store, and you know it'd be like, hey, all my fish died. Tell me why. And you'd be able to go bring in a water sample, and you know you got to go through all that. It was definitely a learning process.
So, are you involved in the hobby outside of the internet at all? I.e., like a fish club or swaps or things like
Used
that?
to be.
Okay.
I used to be quite well. You know, like I said, back before internet, that was the best way to get to meet people that were in the hobby and learn as you went. And I used to be a member of the GCCA, the ALA, which is the American Live Bearer Association. I was a member of some guppy clubs, and over time, I've kind of let all those memberships go because their events are open to the public anyways, and I never really, I'm not a go to a meeting kind of guy. So, and come summertime, I'm always on my boat anyways, so I let all my memberships kind of lapse. So I'm not a member of anything right now, but I really do miss right now. We're not having the swap meets. We're not having the auctions. So yeah, I kind of can't wait to get back to that.
So, you kind of mentioned that, as with everybody else, your hobby kind of sways back and forth between live bearers, cichlids, lots of small tanks, breeding, big tank. Where are you at now in your hobby?
I don't know. I, I have no freaking clue whatsoever. I've got a 75-gallon tank over there that's got a Paratilapia Polini in it, all by himself because he's too mean to go with anything. I've got a hodgepodge of fish in a 125-gallon here that are kind of just oddball fish. And then I got the barbs over here. I got a bunch of tens that are, you know, eventually going to have live bearers in them. I've got tetras and some rasboras, some danios. So I have absolutely no clue. If I like the fish, I'll try to keep it. And if I feel like it, maybe I'll try to breed it. I don't have anything specific. I don't think I'll ever do the African cichlid routing. I got a little kind of overboard on those things for a while.
Yeah, I gotta tell you that's probably my least favorite. My least favorite tank is the.
They were great back in the day. Back before the fish farms got a hold of them, and you never saw the miscellaneous African tank. Back in the day, there were breeders that were real specific, and everybody was making sure none of the lines got crossed, and it was a big deal. And then the fish farms got a hold of them, and the prices dropped because the market got flooded.
Okay.
There's no money in it anymore. It's really hard to go to auction and sell an inch and a half or a 1.5 inch fish that's just gray. And you try to explain to people, oh, this thing, if it's a male, it's going to be gorgeous. And all they see is a little gray fish. They don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I am smitten by our auctions that we were having at the Bucks County Aquarium Society until this whole COVID thing happened, because it was so great that there's so many knowledgeable people there that, like you said, I'm like, what are they? And they tell you exactly how they're big they're going to get, if they're going to be okay in a community, if they're going to be a species only, cares tank. Like, so I find that very, very, very helpful for people like me. Who I would look at it and say, it's a small gray fish. No, no.
I've had some lifelong friendships develop over trying to outbid someone for a particular fish. And then when it all gets said and done, you usually wind up talking to each other, and you're like, well, how expensive were you going to go? And, well, I was willing to go this much. And, you wind up striking a conversation, and they're like, well, what do you keep? And then you find out you keep the same fish. And yeah, I've had lifelong friendships develop that way just
That is
because I
awesome.
wanted that fish more than he did.
Yeah, that is
So,
awesome. Now, you're married, right?
yes,
Is your wife into fish keeping?
absolutely not. I am in a strict rule that no tanks are allowed above the basement except my den. And I've got one 55-gallon saltwater tank in there. All other fish tanks must stay in the basement. That's a
Oh,
strict rule.
okay. I would love, like right now, I got my kids in the basement. Well, Amy and Kyle and their dog, the American Bulldog. But they were looking for a house, so of course I started dreaming. And if I was to take over that part of the basement, I would like my reptiles and my fish and my plants and make it a one big tropical paradise. Like I would just, my turtles. I would want a turtle pond with a waterfall set up in the basement.
I don't know. I really do like watching your streams in the summer when you're outside. I think what you've done with your yard is absolutely amazing. And actually, that's why I started watching you, just because of that. Your outside landscaping and ponds is something I want to do, but I'm not going to do it at this house because I know here at this house I'm only going to be here for maybe another 7 years.
Okay.
I am not going to put that kind of effort into something I'm just going to sell.
Yeah.
And I mean, what you have is gorgeous, but you got to admit it's not for everybody. So when
Exactly.
you go to you're like, you got to cater to somebody that,
Yeah.
oh, you want all these ponds?
Like I'd have to fill in my ponds. I'd be like, oh. Yeah, yeah. I am absolutely loving it. And I thought this year when I actually dug up the whole yard and laid sod down by hand, just myself, that it was going to be like for the first couple months, it was like a dream. And we just had like 2 or 3 weeks of over 100 degrees, and there's nothing I could do to keep it wet enough. And I don't know if it's going to come back, but I'll like, but that, I think that for me, after doing all that landscaping, because the part that wasn't landscaped was kind of mud.
Right.
So laying down the sod was like the icing on the cake for me. And to see it all brown towards the end of the summer was a little disheartening.
Well,
Like,
it happens,
no! But yeah, I absolutely love the ponds. I would love to have an indoor pond in the basement. And I think that would help not only keeping my turtles safe, upping the moisture in the down there for the tropical plants.
I actually did an indoor pond once, and it worked, but I don't know. If I would have had koi that are made to look down on, it probably would have worked out better.
Yeah.
But I had it with different miscellaneous cichlids and stuff. And
Ah,
you're looking down on a cichlid, they really don't look like much.
no. I do love the koi and the turtles, man. The one yellow belly slider I have, Gina, she comes when you call her, and she is just a sweetheart. Oh, Bob Kaler's covering his ears because he wants a big deck pond this spring.
That would be cool. I could
That
see
would be
that. You
awesome.
know, where you dig it or you cut out a section of your deck
Uh huh.
to yeah, I could see that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be way cool. Look at everybody in the chat. Hi, guys. Oh my gosh, I didn't even get to say hi. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. I don't think I was paying attention to the chat. So for Phoebe, thank you very much, Phoebe. That was so sweet. That was very sweet. Yeah. I can't write. Oh, hi, Simply. Oh, she's in the house too. And oh, thank you, Candy. Yeah, I do. I do like, and I'm kind of sad whenever I have to come in from outside because if I could sit out there all year round, like, I guess like South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, like all year round, I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
I do plan on. I've got about another 7 years of work, and then literally at 6.5 years, this fish room's getting taken down, getting put up for sale, and we're moving to the Kentucky Lake area
Ooh,
around, Kentucky, Tennessee.
okay.
Uh, then the permanent fish room will go up.
So you don't have any other pets though, right? You don't have reptiles or anything like that?
No, I'm on a strict no reptile rule.
Okay. Because
If
I
I
would
want to
have
stay
to
there,
be. Go ahead.
I do have 2 German Shepherds and 2 cats.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. That's what
Oh,
we do.
we were talking earlier about advice you would give about, pre-planning a fish room.
Yes.
Plan your fish room on the exact opposite end of the house from where the litter box is. Because the missus will go, well, you're down there anyways, just clean it out.
Yeah.
So, put the litter box on the 3rd floor, put your fish room in the basement, or vice versa. But make sure they're on opposite ends of the house.
I feel the same way with the washer and dryer. Well, since you're down there, and it's kind of hard because I'm shooting video, so it's not just the fish keeping hobby when you're doing YouTube because you're usually documenting as you go and you kind of need not the washer and dryer running. And it's, I think it just adds a layer to it.
My last live stream, I did get the dryer buzzer going off while I was talking. I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny myself.
So I was able to catch a couple of your live streams. Are you thinking about doing some live streams or more videos than you've been doing?
I've got 3 videos kind of halfway done that I got to get off my butt and finish. I do like doing the species profiles, but I do mine a little different, where I go a little more in depth of talking what it's actually like to have the fish in your fish tank. What's it act like? How's it interact with the other fish? Instead of when you look up species profiles, they'll say, well, this is the fish, this is where it comes from, it takes this pH, this water temperature, and keep it in a group. They all say the exact same thing. So I try to get into a little more of what's that red-tailed shark act like when it's in the tank? Okay. It's going to try to get into your filters, I guarantee it. Those kind of things. I like doing that. The live streams, I don't know. I think I might just do it as if I come up with something out of the top of my head that I want to say, I'll say it and get it over with. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I'm going to have like a set schedule or anything like that.
Well, that's cool. I'm just glad I had the notifications turned on, so I was able to catch it because my work schedule is changing like all the time, and my sleep schedule is changing all the time. So it's really nice. I like getting the notifications because I have totally stopped watching TV and just stick to like YouTube. So I like it.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of the same way. I'm not a TV watcher anyways, especially in the summer.
Oh, definitely not in the summer, yeah.
I'm outside.
Yeah.
That's why I bought a bass boat.
Oh, nice. What size? What is a bass boat?
Oh, It's just a Stratus 273 with 150 horse on it.
Oh, one of
Uh,
them.
it, it's a it's a little bit of a pocket rocket.
Okay.
It'll do mid 70s on the water, but
Oh, wow.
my courage only goes up to about 65, and that's when I kind of back off on it. But hey, sometimes you got to get to that fishing spot in a hurry. So
So if you're fishing on this boat, is it like just a one-person boat, a two-person boat?
two people comfortably. It'll hold. U.S. Coast Guard says I can put 5 people in it, but if you're fishing, you're only going to have 2 people. One in the front, one in the back.
I gotcha. I don't think I've ever been fishing while on a boat. I've been fishing while I go camping, I go fishing, especially when my kids were younger.
I don't know if I could actually fish from shore anymore.
Nice.
I don't know if I could physically do it. Besides that, all my rods, all my tackle, all that's in the boat. Bass boats, they have all the storage compartments and all that stuff, so everything stays in the boat. I never take it out. So to get my fishing pole to the lake, I got to bring the boat.
Patty said it's a pocket rocket.
Yes, it's a small. Believe me, man. There's guys out there in a tournament bass fishing world. They've got 21-foot boats with 300 horsepower motors on them. And I've got that 17-foot with the 150, and it's a lot lighter. So it may not have the exact top end that some of those other boats have, but I'll get there in a hurry.
So where do you keep your boat right now? Is it like in the garage?
Right. Yeah, it's right over there.
And is it all sealed up in that saran wrap?
No.
Okay. And do you have to put it on a trailer to get it to the lake?
Well, yeah, it stays on the trailer all the
Okay.
time. It's
Okay.
on the trailer now.
I'm trying to envision how big it is in my head without Googling it. Because last time I
17
tried to
foot.
look something up when I was live, I ended the stream. So I'm not doing that.
It's just a typical 17-foot bass boat, fiberglass bass boat.
Patty said she never heard of that for a boat before. Sorry, she's city folk. That's funny. Now, can you read the chat as well?
No,
Okay, so
you see the ones that you put up there.
okay, so then I'll keep putting them up if I see anything that's like a question or anything. That's good.
Nobody's going to ask me a question.
Well, I got a lot of questions. So, when you were building your fish room, the first thing you did was insulate the walls. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Then you actually built the shelving?
No. Then I thought about how I was going to do the electric and air. That was what we were talking about earlier. This is fish room 2.0.
Okay, that's right.
And, my first fish room, I just started adding tanks here, adding tanks there, and I just added air and added power as I needed it. And it wound up on this big, huge mess. So when I went about going on this one, I looked at, all right, I want the tanks all stacked on top of each other. And then it was, okay, how am I going to run the air and how am I going to light it and power everything? So I'm not using extension cords. So I'm not using power strips and all of that went in first. And then once I had that all figured out and started, then it was, okay, I can build the racks and go from there.
So for some reason, I find myself having 2 or 3 outlets per tank. Well, it went down a little bit with the linear piston air pump. Like when you're building it, like you already have in mind you want a 180 here, 55s here, or you're just built generically and make it work.
When I bought the stand's purpose built. This whole section right here is for nothing but 10 gallons. I just don't have them. I'm waiting for the next $1 per gallon sale. But this whole section will be, 3 rows of 10s.
Oh, wow.
this whole section is just my 20 longs. That's 920 longs, and they were, the shelf is specifically built for them. That section down there will be 1220 highs. That's where I'm going to keep my angelfish.
Wow.
And all of it runs on just the air and shop lights. So per tank, I don't need that many outlets because I'm heating the room, so there's no heaters.
Okay.
And the air pump takes, it's only got 1 quart on it. So all these tanks, all I had to do was worry about lights. So every 4 foot, every 8 foot, I had to have a receptacle. So, because you can turn your shop lights end to end, so the cords are on each side.
Okay.
So every 8 feet, you need a receptacle to plug in a shop light, and that's it.
Oh. I look at my fish room and I look at the back of my fish room, even just this tank here. There's got to be like 7 plugs. Like,
yes, I don't have any. There's not a single hang on the back filter in this fish room. It's all sponges. It's all air driven filters.
okay.
Yeah, the only thing I got to worry about plugging in is shop lights.
And you get the shop lights that plug back to back, like they have the links. Oh, okay.
No, I buy the cheapest ones at Menards I can find that are in the color range I want.
Oh, okay. What color? Like around 6,500?
6,500K.
Okay. So I found the ones that have shop lights on is where I'm having my worst algae problems. I think maybe my lights might be too close to the tank. Like they're actually sitting on the tank as opposed to...
Yeah. Mine are hung up above. I don't have them right, except for that one's sitting right on there. When it comes to algae, like I showed you all those tanks, they're all lighted exactly the same and they're all filtered the same.
Right.
I got different algae growth in every one of them. It varies. Okay. And they're all under the same lighting. They were all set up the same. They all got the same filtration, same substrate for the most part. And, one's got a bad hair algae outbreak and the other one's perfectly fine. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to get me to explain that at all.
Okay. Well, on my tank, I just assumed it was my bioload. I had more nanofish than I did the plants to absorb what needed to be absorbed. That was my guess.
Some tanks I have that they have hair algae in it, and then there's a tank right next to it, and it ain't got a spot of it. No.
Huh.
And they're exactly the same. So.
Isn't that crazy?
You just deal with it. If you got hair algae, you do whatever you need to do to get rid of it.
Well, now I know, thanks to your suggestion, by blacking mine out was the first thing that actually worked, and I have been trying for months.
Yeah,
all different things.
It's just something I picked up from somebody else back in the day. I had the same problem. I had an air algae problem, and he was like, "Yeah, just throw some towels over it for a week." I was like, "For a week? Well, my plants will be dead." He goes, "Nah, it'll be fine."
That's what I thought. I thought all my plants are going to be dead. My fish are going to be overheated. I was like, yeah. But I was at my wit's end. I'm like, I have to try it. And it worked. I'm like,
oh, absolutely.
And now it's crystal clear. Like it's crystal clear. I'm like blown away at how crystal clear it is. Like,
is there a possibility I can step away for a second?
Absolutely.
Entertain your audience. They want to know more about you anyways.
Oh my gosh. So let's see if I can move him. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. There we go. So how is everybody tonight? I'm surprised. I thought a lot more people would be watching the Super Bowl or it's probably playing in the background. I'm not a big Super Bowl person anymore. I say anymore like I was. I was maybe for 10 years. And what started me in the Super Bowl was Paul McCartney was singing at halftime. That did it for me. I started watching at that point. Kenny, you're not watching the game? Uh-oh. So, do you guys hear how quiet this 120 is? It's because my pump is broken. So I am relying on 2 sponge filters until I get a new impeller in the mail. It's coming from the pond guy. So now, on a side note, I know most of you know, but I'm gonna throw. Hi, Shelly. I'm gonna throw it out anyway, and I put a link in the description below. Chattanooga Ed is really trying to increase his growth. I think he may have just hit the 1K, but he's really trying to get it before the live stream tonight. So if you guys aren't or don't know I keep saying Chattanooga Egg. Chattanooga Ed. Check out his channel. He's amazing. Let me tell you, when I met him face to face, what was that show we're at? It was right at the beginning of the lockdown. Right before there were really lockdowns and people nobody really knew what was going on. But anyway, he was in an escaping contest, and his escape was so unusual because he had no clue. He didn't care. He just did it, and it was like the roots were all on top of the roots were all going through. Let me tell you, he won. He won. It was awesome. It was awesome. Very nice guy. So if you haven't checked out Chattanooga Ed, I said it right that time, then give him a check. Is that his channel? Oh, look at Candy. That's his channel. Wow. Candy, I can't even say how much I appreciate Candy. Sophie, don't start. Don't start. So, yeah, because she's going to start screaming in our ear. Ed totally deserved it. Yeah, it was awesome. The big fish deal. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you. It was the big fish deal, and we had so much fun. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. Well, I had so much fun, definitely. And it gave us especially that auction. Oh my God, dying at the auction. Danikin, are you doing a giveaway tonight? You got 1K. Ooh, a giveaway. So I have been doing YouTube. It's coming up just past 3 years, and I have never done a giveaway. I don't even know how to begin to think about doing a giveaway.
Pick a number, 1 through 100.
And what? Write it down and say, "Go ahead, guys."
Sure, that's what other people
do. Back. He's back. I'm gonna add and see what happens. There we go. I didn't even know you were back.
Trust me, story of my life.
Ed does deserve it. Yes, he does. Let me tell you, he's a great guy. Hoping to get to meet Ed and a lot of others at Aquashella in Orlando. Is it still going on? What month? I'd be curious to know what month Aquashella in Orlando is happening. Because let me tell you, I can't wait to get out and just travel and go and meet people and see people again. But I gotta tell you, Terry, love people, love traveling. Now that I've been kind of like under house arrest for this long, I kind of like it. I like the quiet.
I'm relatively antisocial at times myself, and having a fish room is kind of nice to, be able to come in and relax. But I don't know. I kind of do miss getting out. I live in a pretty populated area, and I'm fortunate enough to have quite a few clubs. I can, within just a couple hours, I can go to some pretty major clubs all around the Midwest. And I got to admit, I miss them. I really do.
Yeah, me too. I do miss the Bucks County Aquarium Society. I got to say, the first couple months going, very anxious, they just made me feel so at home, so much a part of. It was so awesome that I felt like I fit in. So it was great. Nobody cared whether I was new or been fish keeping a long time. It was just, everybody was just helpful. Up to that point, I only knew of people on YouTube or Facebook. And people on Facebook were mean, man. They're downright judgy, mean. Right, buddy? I wish you would just step up, huh, babe?
I don't know how many people in chat are from the Chicagoland area. I know Chevy Fish is. There was a few others, but it was nice up until just a few years ago. The two major clubs in the area would always hold their events at a local FOP
Mm-hmm.
that had a bar. So it was really nice because you had a whole bunch of fish keepers being able to get adult beverages
Okay.
and trying to outbid each other for fish.
Wow.
Yeah, it got interesting. And like I said, I've met some lifelong friendships that way.
That's how the big fish deal was. I think they had a bar, an open bar right outside the door, because I saw people going in and out. I was tasked with holding the camera, which I was scared to death because
You know what? I saw that video.
wasn't that great? Oh my gosh, Haley was so amazing. Haley and Mike, the fish tank barn.
Isn't that where Mike got a little upset? I think.
Well, somebody took him down and ended up everybody in the audience like booed and it was like crazy. And then he
Yeah,
finally
that
came
was-
back up and everybody cheered. And this was one of the
Right,
members. But I think that member had just maybe a little too much to drink and was a little,
Well, it kind of helped me out too come auctions because, some of them auctions can last for quite a while, and you add a few adult beverages, and then the idea of, oh, I really want that fish. You're kind of like, well, how bad do I really want it? After a few beverages, you want it really bad, and then you got to explain to your wife why you just spent a week's pay on, a couple bags of fish.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I had so much. And then I didn't realize at one point I was just, because I was holding the camera, but I was talking to somebody and I was just pointed right at like Mike's crotch. And I got a saw in the chat. I was like, oop. It was fun. And I know it was noisy and unprofessional, but we had such a
No, I
blast.
saw it and I watched it all just because, it's a typical auction, man. That's what goes on. For those people that don't have the opportunity to go to these auctions, man, you're really missing out. If you can just find, the closest club you can find, and even if it's 2-3 hours away, man, you got to go try it at least once.
Yeah,
And Kevin, I live right near Chicago in Northwest Indiana.
Yeah. So
Which is really nice because the Chicago clubs, the Chicago clubs are super close for me. But like I said, I'm in the shadow of the city. It's not that hard for me to go to Milwaukee. It's not that far for me to go to Michigan. It's not that far for me to go to Indianapolis. It's not that far for me to go to Cincinnati.
oh wow.
I can, within just a few hours, I can go to all these clubs. So I could do a fish, swap meet or auction almost every weekend.
That would be so awesome. I think you just answered Kevin's question. We want to know where you lived. Now he knows where you lived. It's a good idea. It says Aquashallow was the next building over from the Beer Fest in Dallas. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, that would get me in trouble.
Yeah. Yes. Terry, I can't drive or I would definitely go to a meeting. It's only an hour or two. I'm going to put it up here because I can't read that well. Definitely go to a meeting. It's only an hour.
Or 3.
To,
An hour or 3 clubs.
Oh, okay.
Well, just find somebody that can drive that's a fish keeper too.
Yeah.
And go. I don't go to too many meetings, and I never really did do, but the clubs, the Chicago clubs especially, they have speakers every month, and I was probably missing out not going to the meetings, but believe me, take advantage of it. I mean, you'll meet some really great people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So Bob is controversial. Look at this. I would not go to a large fish keeping event unless I knew the fish were cared for properly afterward, i.e., not thrown in the dumpster.
I think he's referring to there was some event somewhere where a bunch of betas were brought in
Yeah, I
with
was at
no
that event.
consideration. There was no consideration to what to do with the betas afterwards. I
Yeah,
think that's maybe what he's referring to. But
that was
these local club swap meets and auctions, those fish are all well cared for, and
yes,
they all either go back home with the people that brought them or the people that bought them.
exactly. Yeah, I've noticed a couple differences from, I would say, like a Mont Pa, like Keystone Clash, versus some of these bigger ones where people come from all over the country. A little different.
The Aquashella is more uh, people that make products based. They're trying to get their name out there. You know, they're trying to get their product out there. Club meetings are a lot different. If you go to like an American Light Bearer Association show or an American Cichlid Association show, it's all about the fish. It's not about the product. You might get a few sponsors from, you know, product people, but it's all about the fish.
So this I don't agree with. Super Mario Cool Boy, I'm so sorry you had that experience. That is not the experience that I know my fish club. We've got a lot of younger members in our fish clubs. He said he started getting into fish. He's 11 years old. And he went to join his local club and they turned him away because they said his brain was too young and small to know how to keep fish properly.
I think that club's got a lot of issues.
I do too,
I,
because
I
Super
don't know
Mario
what
Cool
club that
Boy,
was.
I think if you want to keep fish, you're just stick with us. Stick with the fish fam. If you have any questions, like that doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
No, me either. I've never seen a club turn away a kid. I mean,
11 years old, isn't that like fifth and sixth grade? I don't
the
even think I'm
the,
smarter than a fifth grader. So like, hello.
the Greenwater Aquarium Association here in Chicago, during their auctions, they have a kid auction going on at the same time. They're not auctioning off kids.
Yeah.
They have an auction that the kids can participate in. All right.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
The people bring, you know, separate bags of fish
Yeah.
to let the younger under 18 bid on.
So I kind of wish Bucks County Aquarium Society did that because I've been toe to toe in an auction with like a younger child, and I just feel compelled to let them win.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not in my
it's a
nature.
fish one, yeah.
I got 4 daughters, and we
That'd
play
be a good
games.
way. I could bring my daughter and just tell her, here, hold that sign up. That way
Yeah, yeah. That's a shame that that's your experience. I hope you have other fish clubs in the area. Super Mario, anytime you have any questions or anything, hit me up or anyone in this chat. Yeah, check that. Start subscribing to some of these people in the chat, man. Nobody in this chat thinks your brain is too young to keep fish.
I see Furlough in the morning. I get up relatively early in the morning, and Furlough's on a panel with another YouTuber. And I always know I'm usually feeding my fish at the time, and I always know when Furlough's on the panel because I can hear the crickets in the background. He's got quite a few different reptiles, and he's got a lot of crickets, and I can always hear him chirping. And I was like, oh, Furlough's on.
Wow. I at one time I think it was by my pond. It was either at the pond or downstairs. I had let a couple crickets out by accident, and it was driving people in the chat crazy because some of them thought they had crickets.
Well, the first time I met Furlough in the stream, I even did. I was looking around my den going, all right, I got a cricket. And finally, I actually typed in the comment. I was like, does somebody have crickets? And Furlough was like, yeah, it's probably me.
Oh yeah. So there's a lot of these and I think I'm in 100% agreement that a lot of the local fish clubs and swaps fish are really really taken care of. Really, Kevin says, really, I didn't think you were competitive at all. It's not competitive as much as I'm a little obsessive, compulsive. So I get like when eBay first came out, I did these auctions and I ended up buying all these things I didn't even want, but I wanted to win. So sometimes I get caught up in that. Sometimes I get a little caught up. I bought my first keyboard on an auction, but no, I'm not really that competitive. It actually drives some people crazy when I play games with them and I'm playing for fun and they're not playing for fun. They're playing to win. Like I was on a softball league and they play to win and I'm out there playing for fun. It drives some people a little crazy. Oh, look at everybody is offering some, putting out some help for cool Mario Brothers. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is that's insane. I don't know why any club in their right mind would turn a kid away.
No.
That goes against the whole idea of having a club to begin with.
Exactly. And you get young minds into this hobby to keep the hobby going.
That's the whole idea of the club
Mm-hmm.
is to promote the hobby, increase the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Believe me, the more people that have fish tanks, the more people that are I could possibly sell
Mm-hmm.
some of my fish. So
I would rather, like, I do a couple of my videos. Well, now that YouTube has these strict rules about children friendly, whatever. Well, a lot of my videos that I do, especially things like cycling your tank, and I do it as if I'm talking to my 10-year-old friend Calvin. Like, he's not 10 anymore, is it? I don't think, Calvin, are you 10? Are you on there, Calvin? But if I can explain things at that age, then I know I'm getting it and it's not beneath anybody. But if you can explain the nitrogen cycle so that a child understands it, what's the issue? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But I've been in the
right,
miniature hobby for since the 70s, early 70s, which is dollhouse furniture, 1/12 scale, 1/24. I make dollhouses, landscapes, all that kind of thing. And I've been in some groups where there was no children welcome. It blew my mind because, well, these people were just, I guess, I don't know.
was it maybe because these were delicate objects
Oh,
and they didn't
absolutely
want
delicate. They're not children's toys. But if children, there's a lot of artistic children that are just as creative. And
Oh,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like, that's what I was
In
like.
that case, yeah.
So I was like, I can't believe you're just turning people away because of their age without even.
Trust me, there's some young fish keepers out here that
Hey, Sophie.
they've got fish tanks that look better than anything I got going on right now.
And here's Kevin saying, kids will be kids. We weren't supposed to keep score in T-ball, and every kid knew the score of the baseball game. That's right. What do you mean not keep score? You gotta keep score. Gotta keep score. Oh, look at Bob Kaler is up next, and he's up in 10 minutes with Anthony's Fishy Friends. Oh, that's awesome. And there's the link. Candy just posted the link. So we should come up with a hashtag for. I love coming up with hashtags, but my mind is blank. Do you have any ideas for a hashtag? Oops. Starting the coffee. Thanks, Candy. Hash-
Was Bob Kaler the one that built that ginormous plywood tank?
I don't think he's built a plywood tank yet. You might be thinking Chris, multi-tank addictions.
Maybe okay, that's probably who I'm
He's
thinking of.
building. I think Chris is building one. I know Joey's built one and is building one. Somebody else was building one from another country.
No, never mind. Then that screwed up
Yeah.
my whole hashtag idea.
Oh,
I don't have an idea. Pick one.
I would love if that's the best way for me to get like a 200 plus gallon aquarium to build one. I would love that.
It's really not that difficult, to be honest with you. if you have any idea on how to put two pieces of wood together, you can build a plywood tank. The hardest part is, sealing your viewing window and what kind of viewing window you're going to have. It's going to be plexiglass or actual glass. That's the hardest part of it. You just need to make a box that can hold the force of water, because the more water you got in, the more it's going to push against the sides. So you just got to make sure everything's reinforced really well, and then just fiberglass it, basically.
Yeah.
It's
and the glass is got to be very thick, right? Very thick and heavy. No.
I don't. That's a king of DIY kind of thing. I couldn't tell you sizes to use.
Yeah.
I've never done a plywood tank. I've always been happy with glass boxes.
So I just picked up I got a free 90-gallon glass box sitting over there. It's got a free. No leaks either. But I can't even get it down in my basement. John doesn't even want to help me carry it anymore. Like it. So I got to figure something out. Because I got to fill it with vinegar and get the crud off of it a little bit, and then decide, do I want it reptile? I definitely want it for either my Oscars or my electric blue Jack Dempsey's. Is that a 90-gallon?
No, this is a 125.
Oh, beautiful.
That was also free. And it sat in my backyard before I could con one of my friends over to come and help me move it down into my basement.
Okay.
It sat outside on a couple seahorses or sawhorses for probably a month and a half before I finally got my basement.
Good. I don't feel so bad. So I do have it in my living room. So it's a start.
You'll get it.
Start. That's actually takes up the whole coffee table. But I got to figure out where it goes at this point. I got it. Hashtag glass box.
There you go.
That's what we got. Hashtag glass box.
I actually use that word a lot.
So what do you have in that 125? I see little gray fish. You tell me what they are.
That one, it's got 2 pink-tailed chalceus that are growing up, 3 severums that are growing out, and 2 guarus that are growing out, and some miscellaneous dithers.
Cool. I like what you said about the red-tailed shark, because I had one, but it was missing for 8 months. And then I found it in the filter, and he was fine. He was huge. He was fine. 8 months.
I had one that spent some months in the plenum part of an undergravel filter.
Oh, yeah.
You got your gravel, and then the filter plate, and then the plenum area.
Yeah.
He's living in that plenum area for months and months and months.
Wow.
He slipped down the outlook tube and never came back out.
2 of my tanks are under gravel filters. I like them.
Yeah, the marketing killed the undergravel filter, but yeah, they worked. My entire growing up and all the tanks I had, all of them were undergravel filters, and they worked just fine. The only reason I don't have them now is it's just hard to source them. It's hard to get them. So I just do sponge filters, and they do the exact same thing. So,
well, I had one. I forget the kind of device it was. It was like a device that you never have to change the water ever.
Oh, God. I heard the marketing on those, and then I did a little bit of research, and everybody said it was junk, and I didn't even bother. I
was setting it up, because they sent me everything. I shot video of it, and I just asked them to explain to me what's the science behind it. Because, I'm fishing there.
Right.
Crickets. I got nothing in the background okay, so it's right now it's under gravel. I added sponge filters, so it was seasoned sponge filters. So I don't really know if it actually works, but it's set up, it's running, but it's also got sponge filters in it because I can't figure out the Nomo. Thank you, the Nomo. I don't know I don't know how to test it if it's going to work or not.
I do remember somebody showing me a link or something. I want to say this was 2-3 years ago, and I clicked the link and looked it up a little bit, and I read their little marketing ploy, and I went, yeah, this is a bunch of words I shouldn't say, and just never looked at it again.
Well, I set it up because it was free. It was a nice prize, under gravel filter, which I love anyway. So I set that up. Oh, that was my timers. I set that up, and I just got scared at the last second and threw sponge filters in. So I can't even tell you if it works or not. But the tank is beautiful. It's running well. Oh my God, my lights went off, which means it's about time. Is there anything you want to say to people about your YouTube channel or your fish room?
My YouTube is just a hobby. It's, if I do a live stream, it's because I got something I want to say or something I want to ask. I don't have a set time, and if you saw my upload schedule, you'd see I'm not in a big hurry to do nothing. So, yeah, it's just something I do. It's a way to communicate with other hobbyists. That's it.
Awesome, awesome. So I appreciate you coming on here. I know you've helped me out tremendously. And like I said, I love the YouTube community, the fish fam. Absolutely love it.
Anytime, man. If you ever have any other questions about, running your electric, let me know.
Awesome. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to head over to Bob Kaler's #Glassbox. And we are going to end with my favorite song, and hopefully Sophie will sing along.
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q, and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q, and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q, and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Na na, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said